We have now joining us live a very special guest, senior leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, former Union Minister Prakash Javadekar, who was himself put in jail as one of the opposition leaders during the emergency time, is joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Javadekar, welcome and thank you very much for being with us today on NewsX. Prakash Javadekar ji, let me begin by asking you about your memories of emergency in 1975 and your thoughts on this occasion on the very day, June 26th, on which it was imposed, June 25th, beg your pardon, that it was imposed many years ago.
This is now 50th year and I recollect every moment of it. When my father was a journalist and sub-editor of Daily Kesari of Lokmanya Tilak, and he was on the night duty on 25th June. So when he came on 26th morning, he told us that today police had come to our office and he said that without showing him the news, you cannot go to publication. So this was censorship. So I heard this word first time, and we were very angry because the freedoms were taken up. Atalji, Advaniji, Muradji and all the Jaiprakash and other leaders were arrested. In Pune, we organized a rally against this emergency. But even after that, all those who participated were also picked up. We, as Vidyarthi Parishad Karyakarta, we organize students to protest against this. And on the 11th December, at 11 colleges, right from the morning to afternoon, there were different college gates. There was satyagraha all over. I was the youngest university senate member from the graduate constituency, and I offered satyagraha in university, and we were then arrested, and then we were put in the jail. But we were ready for it, and that time I know very clearly that Nelson Mandela had completed 12 years in jail, and many other political prisoners were for 10 years and more. So, and the worst part of MISA was nobody knew when, for how many days they have arrested you. It was unlimited, and this was the barbaric, this was undemocratic. And this is what they did. And even in court, Congress said, Congress means the Niren Day, the Attorney General said that these MISA detainees have no right to life also if government thinks so. So this was a barbaric, complete reversal of the freedom movement and complete reversal of what Baba Saheb Ambedkar gave us as a constitution. So this was very bad, and this is what I have the feelings, and I have we called it a Yeroda University. We debated a lot, we studied a lot, and politically we graduated from that Yeroda University.
Yes, you know, in fact, today we are speaking on a news channel. We are speaking through the media, but the media also was censored at that point of time. There was a clampdown on the media, Mr. Javadekar. Let's just speak a bit about that, since you've also been the former INB minister. You've been the former INB minister. You know how, you know, the media crackdown happened at that time as well.
And media crackdown was so brutal that Sanjay Gandhi and his coterie planned very systematically beforehand, before the promulgation of emergency. They took away the electricity of newspapers in Delhi, and they put censors all over the country. In one night, they clamped it. So there was no news of arrest next day. On 26th, there was no news of arrest of all these big leaders. There was complete silence, and still many journalists fought it, many editors fought it. They left their editorial space empty. So that was also an effective protest. But that also was not liked. And Vidya Charan Shukla, who was the INB minister, threatened individually also to various newspapers. And then everybody had to fall in line. This is very worst kind of censorship we have seen. Today, you can criticize government. All media is doing their own way of interpreting the things, and nobody stops them from doing that. But this is what was the Congress did with the Constitution of Freedom Constitution in a way, and this is the real nature of Congress.
You know, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken out on the emergency as well. He's said that this was the biggest, attack on the Constitution yet in modern India. And it's quite interesting how on a day when he spoke on that issue, opposition members of parliament, including Rahul Gandhi, Akhilesh Yadav, prominent opposition MPs, all carried constitution books to parliament, actually alleging that it's the BJP who's attacking the constitution and not, the opposition, unlike what the BJP alleges. What do you make of this duality of stance?
What we are telling is the history. It is well written in Shah Commission report, how the barbaric acts were conducted that time and how that was promulgated without even cabinet approval. Only Siddharth Shankar Ray and Indira Gandhi went to the Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad, the then president, and he promulgated the emergency under 352. What Janata Party and who fought? 111,000 people were put behind the bars, those who protested and those who were detained. So, out of that, more than 1 lakh were Sangha Parivar Karyakartas. So, Congress destroyed the constitution, Sangha Parivar saved the constitution. And this is why, that time we were Jansangh, but we are always proud to protect the constitution, and which Congress, now they are holding the book Congress, that is the cruel joke of 21st century. They have no moral right.
Okay, they have no moral right to lecture on the Constitution is what you're saying, because everyone remembers 1975. As you're saying, interestingly, that's what, your party president JP Nadda also said today, that a predominance of the people who were jailed, who were cracked down and who were actually fighting back at the time were from RSS and from Bharatiya Janasangh. Of course, for those of our viewers who don't know, the BJP was the Janasangh at the time. Is that correct? Mr. Javadekar?
That is what I am telling you, the figure. Out of 111,000 people who were arrested during the emergency, more than 1 lakh were RSS Parivar, Sangha Parivar people. And so we fought it. And I don't want to do party. Everybody who fought has an importance. And many opposition parties and opposition leaders joined it. Right from George Fernandez to Mohan Daria to many other people who joined the struggle on their own, though they were not in big number, but everything matters. And therefore, this was a fight of the people of India when they knew about what has happened in 19 months, because they were not told the truth of what is happening behind the curtains.
Okay. My final question then to you, Prakash Javadekar.
Yes.
When you remind the opposition on this, they turn back and say, why are you rewinding the clock? Why are you constantly going back to history? Let's move forward. Let's talk about 2024. Your response?
Yes, the 2024 is the reminder of the thing of what happened in 75, that we, and Prime Minister has said it very clearly. Now, Janata Party has redrawn and cancelled withdrew all the amendments done during the emergency, and now there is only one clause by which 352 emergency under 352 can be called if there is a mutiny or बगावत जिसे कहते हैं, सैन्य में कुछ गड़बड़ होता है तो ही इमरजेंसी लगा सकते, नहीं तो कोई इमरजेंसी नहीं ला सकता. ये जो अघोषित इमरजेंसी वगैरह कहते हैं, ये फॉल्स नैरेटिव की लड़ाई है. तो हमारा सच्चा नैरेटिव है,
जी।
उनका फॉल्स है. We are showing the not only history but all the documents and everything is there. Shah Commission report should be published by media also, because that shows what the crookedness with and why they did the emergency.
Yes.
Only because on 12th June, Allahabad High Court decided and unseated Indira Gandhi because of corrupt electoral practice. Therefore, she wanted to save her chair. She wanted to remain prime minister, and therefore they made so rush in amending the constitution, so the rights of the court to
Yes.
hear the appeal also were not allowed. The amendment of 42, 42 second amendment of the constitution was so worst. It was produced in 10 days after Swaran Singh committee went into deliberation with Congress people itself. And then they came out with the most bizarre.
Okay.
And then there is all record is available. Let me finish that on 7th August 75, the bill 42nd amendment was passed in Lok Sabha. On 8th, it was passed in Rajya Sabha. And on 10th, 17 assemblies ratified it. So this became the law. On the 10th itself, notification was issued. On the 11th was the Supreme Court appeal of Indira Gandhi against the Allahabad High Court decision. And that day, this whole amendment was put and restricted the courts to hear the election petitions against Prime Minister retrospectively.
Yes.
And that what is the Congress.
Yes. Prime Minister Modi also was a Sangharsh activist, isn't it, at that point? He also raised his voice against, against the emergency, isn't it, Prakash Javadekar? Yes. Your comments on that, and also just tell us about what was going through your mind at that point. When the crackdown was happening against you and others at that point in Maharashtra, what was going through your mind? Did you know how long it will last? What were you thinking at that point?
See, I was from a very lower middle class family, and I was working in Bank of Maharashtra. So that time, it was very clear that our job will go, everything will go, and nobody knows how many days they will keep us there. But we were ready to take up the challenge because we thought that complete forfeiture of all kinds of freedom is the worst thing that has happened.
Yes.
It has negated the whole struggle of freedom for 150 years. And therefore, we fought it well, and we are proud of that.